So, on this day in 1993, I fulfilled a lifetime's ambition to see Arsenal play in the FA Cup final for the first time. This is over and over and over again. Hello, my name is Richard. Welcome back to my channel over and over and over again. In this video, I'm going to look back on this day in 1993, which of course was the first time that I'd seen Arsenal play in an FA Cup final at Wembley. It was against Sheffield Wednesday. And we'll look at the build-up to the game, the actual day itself, and also the aftermath. Just before I get into all that, I want to make sure that you are subscribing to my channel. If you do like some good Arsenal content, I do include a lot of stuff on the history of the club. Please click on the subscribe button down in the corner there. It is free of charge. It does help the channel to grow. If you enjoy this video, please give it a like as well. Share the content around. And if you've got any comments at all to make about this particular FA Cup final in 1993 or anything else to do with Arsenal, please drop me in the comments box below, as I do love to hear from you guys as well. So as a kid growing up then, we'd always watch the FA Cup final as a family. The first one I remember was actually 1975 when West Ham beat Fulham 2-0. And of course, 3 years later, Arsenal were in the final against Ipswich. And that was really when my support of Arsenal really started. Of course, we did reach the final the two previous years as well. 1979, of course, when we beat Manchester United. And then 1980 when we lost to West Ham. And it wasn't until 1981 that I actually started going to games at Highbury. So I was expecting it not to be very long until I'd be at Wembley myself watching Arsenal playing a cup final. But unfortunately, that wasn't quite how it turned out. The nearest that we got actually was in 1983 when we reached the semi-final before losing to Manchester United at Villa Park. And then there was another semi-final in 1991, of course, at Wembley when we lost to Tottenham. We don't really want to talk too much about that. So here we were in 1993, the first season of the Premier League. The league season hadn't been particularly good. In fact, we were down in mid-table, quite familiar. That may sound to a few people these days. Anyway, in the League Cup, of course, we'd gone all the way to the final. We'd beaten Sheffield Wednesday 2-1, which was a fantastic day out. But it was the FA Cup that I was really interested in. So I've been dreaming about watching Arsenal play in the showpiece event of the football season for quite a long time. So when we beat Tottenham in the semi-final at Wembley, that goal from Tony Adams, not only was it revenge from 91, not only was it beating the enemy, but it did set us up, of course, for the FA Cup final. The only problem now was going to be getting a ticket. Of course, even season tickets then wasn't guaranteed to get a ticket for the final. Of course, as you know, the allocation for the participating sides is very low for the FA Cup final. But luckily, I managed to get a ticket. And you can imagine my excitement when that finally turned up through my door a few weeks before the final. As for the day itself then, unfortunately it wasn't the sunny, hot, warm day that you always associated with FA Cup final. This was a cloudy, overcast day. There were showers, but none of that really mattered. Coming off the train at Wembley Park, walking up Wembley Way on FA Cup final day, just had a real special feel to it. Yes, I've done that walk several times before with Arsenal. Of course, the 1987 League Cup final, as I talked about in an earlier video, the first time I'd seen Arsenal playing a cup final. There'd been visits to Wembley to see Arsenal play in the Makita pre-season tournaments, 88, 89 and 90. There was the Charity Shields of 89 and 91 as well. And of course, those FA Cup semi-finals against Tottenham as well. But this was different. This was the FA Cup final. This was the big one. And the atmosphere walking up Wembley Way that day was incredible. In 93, of course, there was still terracing at the old Wembley behind the goals, but I had a seat. It was opposite the Royal Box, 2 rows from the back, right in line with the corner flag of the goal that in the end Arsenal would be attacking in the first half opposite the tunnel end. Of course, one of the big things about the FA Cup final is the abide with me, him, of course, before much anticipated moment, and of course the national anthem as well. So when the teams came out of the tunnel, the sun actually came out briefly for that moment, and it was great to be there to experience that for the first time. I've been waiting a long time, nearly 20 years of watching FA Cup finals, to finally see Arsenal coming out of that tunnel and actually being in the stadium to witness it. As for the game itself, then, it wasn't the greatest game, was it? We were fortunate actually that we did score in the first half in the goal where we were attacking in front of our fans. It was a header from Ian Wright as well. Of course, he'd scored a lot of goals that season. I think that was his 29th goal. Good header it was as well to give us the lead, and for a while it looked as though that was going to be enough. But in the second half, Sheffield Wednesday did equalise. Paul Hurst with the goal, and extra time was quite a slog. Both teams looked very tired, and in the end it was quite a disappointing 1-1 draw that it finished in. It wasn't the greatest game, but on the plus side of that, of course, what it meant was we would all be returning 4 days later on the Thursday evening for the replay. I will be doing, of course, a video on that game later in the week, of course, to mark the 28th anniversary of that particular game. So coming out of the ground that day, I remember feeling very deflated, actually. Obviously, without a result either way, I'd hoped to be seeing Arsenal lifting the cup that day for the first time, but it wasn't meant to be. But it still didn't take anything away from the fact that I'd finally seen Arsenal play in the FA Cup final. I say that, fulfilling the dreams of childhood, actually, and it was a fantastic day and a fantastic occasion. It was just a shame that we didn't win the game and it wasn't decided on that particular day. So in the end, we had to come back, didn't we, 4 days later on the Thursday evening for a replay. Not really ideal. There was a scramble for tickets in the week, but I will be featuring this game more later on in the week, I say, to commemorate the 28th anniversary of that particular game. I say for me, it was just great to have experienced an FA Cup final, seeing Arsenal walk out the tunnel that day, that the nerves and the excitement that there was, hearing Abide With Me, fantastic memories that was as well, and of course the national anthem as well. So finally, after all those years, I've got to see Arsenal play in the FA Cup final. It was disappointing that the game didn't finish in an Arsenal victory, but we just have to wait a few days longer for that, wouldn't we? But we got there in the end, and I suppose that's the main thing. So this is my little look back then on this day in 1993. For me personally, it was a big day. The first time I'd seen Arsenal play an FA Cup final after all those years of waiting. It wasn't quite worth the wait, maybe, overall for the result, but it was certainly fantastic experience to have been there. Of course, I've been to many FA Cup finals since and seen us win a lot more as well. So, but this was the first one, and as they say, the first time you do anything, it always maybe means a little bit more to you, doesn't it? So I just thought I'd do a little video to look back on this particular day. So stay tuned to the channel, because coming up early next week, probably on Monday evening, I'll be doing a live show looking back on our FA Cup final memories. I've got some guests joining me with some memories of their own from their experiences of watching Arsenal play in FA Cup finals, both at Wembley, at the Millennium Stadium, and of course the new Wembley as well. So it's going to be a really, really good show, especially if you like your history and your memories. That's going to be really good. So that's probably going to be on Monday evening. I will confirm it. And then of course we'll be looking ahead to the Crystal Palace game on Wednesday evening. I will do a preview video of that on Tuesday, and as well I'm going to try to get Jay, the Crystal Palace fan who was on earlier in the season, try and get him back on again to look ahead to that game. I will be doing a watch along of the game as well on Wednesday evening, and then of course a usual review on Thursday before we then start looking ahead to the final game of the season against Brighton next Sunday. Of course, the fans are back in for that one. The protest plan as well, of course, to get the owners out. So loads coming up on the channel in the next week or so as we head towards the end of the season. If you haven't done so already, please click on the subscribe button down in the corner there. It is free of charge. It does help the channel reach a larger audience. If you've enjoyed this video, please give it a like as well. Please share the content around. And if you was at that FA Cup final in 1993, what are your memories? It wasn't the greatest game, was it? But at least we didn't lose. I suppose that's one good thing. But let me know your thoughts of that in the comments below. I say stay tuned to the channel. Loads of good stuff coming up. I know we're reaching the end of the season, but there are still some great memories to look back on as well. And I will try to keep you entertained with all of that as well. So please like, share, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Stay tuned to the channel. Of course, as always, come on, you Gunners.